कमी पर उन्होंने कहा कि विपक्ष जो है वो अफवाह फैला रहा है, अफवाह न फैलाए।
एलपीजी गैस की कमी पर प्रधानमंत्री का कहना है कि कोई शॉर्टेज नहीं है, लेकिन पैनिक फैलाने की कुछ लोग कोशिश कर रहे हैं।
देखिए, मुझे इसका यथार्थ के बारे में क्या कहूं। जनता जानती है कितने आसान है या कितना कठिन है एलपीजी खरीदने के लिए। हम तो सुन रहे हैं हर जगह से कि लंबे लाइन है सिलेंडर के लिए, कि दाम भी बढ़ गया 60 रुपया। देखिए, बात यह है कि जो हमारे लोग महसूस कर रहे हैं उनको ही बोलने, हमें बोलने या किसी और का जवाब देने में कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है ना। अंत में जो लोग के अनुभव है उनको ही जानते हैं। हम चाहते हैं कि ये जल्दी खत्म हो जाए।
Yesterday the MEA said that the Prime Minister has reached out to the Gulf countries' heads to ease down the situation, and although our Foreign Affairs Minister has reached out to the counterpart in Iran to have a the situation, because he had third time he had a conversation with Iranian Foreign Minister. How do you see the whole development?
No, I'm glad that India is taking some initiative to try and work for peace. At the moment, neither side seems to be willing to settle, though Mr. Trump has said that he is running out of targets to hit and that this thing may finish very soon. The Iranians have said that as far as they're concerned, they expect a lot more retaliation to continue. It's going to be very difficult for us sitting here in Delhi to judge, but I think we should be a constructive voice for peace. This has hurt us very badly. It's going to hurt other countries, the whole region, gas supplies, energy security, the well-being and safety of 9 million Indians in the Gulf countries. A lot of our relationships are also at stake. So my very strong feeling about all this is that it is in the interests of the world to collectively push to end this, and we should be a leading voice in the matter. We are also affected because we're so close by and we have so much at stake.
But how do you see United Nations Security Council pass a resolution condemning Iran for attacking the neighbor countries? Our country, our India's stand was they supported the resolution, but some of the opposition MPs have criticized the government for taking this stand of condemning Iran on this issue.
No, my own view is that on principle, there is wrong on both sides. It was wrong of America and Israel to attack. I've given the reasons before as to why. Any argument of provocation is not justified. Self-defense is not justified. Preemptive self-defense also not justified at a time when negotiations were going on and Iran was apparently granting everything that had been demanded of it. Having said that, equally on the other side, Iran is to blame for attacking countries and not a party to the war, and in hurting innocent civilians. 2-3 Indians have also lost their lives, and they are not in any way at war with Iran. A tanker has been hit, that is a Thai flag tanker. Thailand is protesting what have we done. Many countries are feeling that both sides should stop this, because what's going on is hurting people who have absolutely no quarrel with either party. This is something which I think in many ways is pointing to the folly and pointlessness of war and conflict. As a land of Gandhiji and Mahatma Gandhi and the Buddha, I think we all know that peace and ahimsa have been a major tradition of India, and that's what we should always stand.
As Gulf crisis is going on, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has a telephonic conversation with Iranian
President, it's the right thing to do. He's reaching out to all sides. Our foreign minister is also speaking to his counterparts in the Gulf countries. I think India should be active. We can't just sit back passively, and I'm glad that all these efforts should be made, and our message should be consistent. This is doing damage to all sorts of countries. Please end this sooner. Whatever it may be, we can try and sit at a negotiating table, find solutions. Do not carry on like this. And we should say this to the Americans, to the Israelis, and to the Iranians.
So lastly, when the petroleum prices are looming in the country, there are extended supports that have been given to countries like Bangladesh, and there are exports being done as far as petroleum products are concerned. How do you see that move?
The petroleum products are one thing. Petroleum for petrol and diesel in our petrol stations is something else. According to the minister's statement yesterday, petrol, diesel, kerosene, all that, the supplies are adequate. It seems the LPG is a particular area where there is some shortage, because unfortunately a lot of our cooking, and especially those who have switched in the rural areas from wood and coal, have been switching to cylinder gas. And if cylinders are not easy to get, that becomes a real challenge. All I can say is, look, we are all in this together. The country must unite to ensure that these problems are overcome as quickly as possible. 5 states are going to the polls. Those of us who have to campaign, we also need petrol. We also need to go around. The restaurants we go to, they're shutting down because they don't have enough gas cylinders. Where are we going to eat as we are running around campaigning? I'm being trivial, but I'm just saying, even at our level, it is going to hit all of us in many, many ways in the normal activities of our democracy. It's a situation where, frankly, many of us are concerned about how things are going to evolve and whether normal life can continue much longer if this war doesn't stop very soon.
So you think it will be a issue in the coming elections as well as the way?
Well, let us hope the Election Commission announces the dates of these elections. There are rumors going around that as long as this war is on, even the election dates may be in question. I hope those rumors are not true, but we are all waiting to find out. But certainly everything is not going to be as business as usual. It isn't already, and it's going to get more difficult as long as this fighting continues.